All right, ladies, welcome. First podcast all together, hopefully first of many.
As a team.
As a team. Team, do the work. Is here. So, how are we, first of all?
Good.
Yeah, not bad. Yeah.
Good, yeah.
Yeah.
So, I thought today we would have a bit of a... It's always going to be an open chat when we do it as the three of us, but have a bit of a chat about the challenges that people, or ladies specifically, have when starting or constantly restarting the fitness journey. So I thought it'd be good, first of all, to kind of ask you both about your experiences in how that went. Kirsty, I know we spoke recently about you felt like you started and stopped quite a few times. So let's start with you. Like, how was your experience in starting, and why was it that you kept kind of restarting?
So, yeah. Start, obviously children, because when I was younger, I had my children young. So, yeah, stopped for them and then started. And then I don't know why it stopped. I think life just got in the way, or you go on holidays and things like that and you think, sod it, I'm going on holiday. So, yeah, you just give up. And then when you come back, you're like, oh, I'll start again. And that's what you do. It's just like a vicious, continuous circle.
Yeah, that's what you were saying, wasn't it? When we last spoke, it was like, you start and then you do it for something and then you stop, or you were sort of talking about how, you didn't really know what to do in the gym. So that's what stopped you. You joined the gym a few times and then you just didn't know what to do.
No, definitely not.
So what about yourself, Lucy, when you sort of first started? Was there a period where you knew you needed to do something, but then how long was it to the point where you did something?
So I actually never did anything until I had my first child, ever. I'd never felt the need to. And then when I'd had my first son, I put on a load of weight and just felt sluggish and unhealthy. So then I thought, right, I actually need to do something about it. But I just never felt the need to before that. So after that, that's when I started to look for like a personal trainer or go to the gym. So just like Kirsty, I did a lot of stopping and starting with certain things. Like I thought, oh, maybe I need to lose weight. Let's go to Slimming World. Or maybe I need to find a personal trainer. So let's go and do like 3-4 sessions a week. But that was just too much. So there was a lot of trial and error at the beginning. And it took me a long time, even until after having my second child, to actually figure out what it was I needed. And to kind of click that I needed to do something I enjoyed, not just like go for a run, like inconsistently once a fortnight. So it took a long time to figure out what it is I actually enjoyed to do. So that was more important than anything else, really. Something I could stick at. But yeah, so like you, a lot of stopping and starting as well, trying things out.
So how long was that period of trying things out before kind of like finding the right things? I think a lot of ladies listening to this, maybe they've been trying for months, years, I don't know, trying, like you said, Slimming World, all these different things. So how long was it for you, and how long did it take you to realise, like, no, I've been doing it wrong all this time, this is the way for me?
I couldn't actually give you like a time frame, because a lot of it has just been like broken bits of like I said, having my first child, giving it 6-7 months and then trying. I went to Slimming World. I tried that for like 4 months, but obviously standing up in front of a group of people and getting weighed, and it was just obviously demoralising. So I stopped that, and then I'd give it 3 months and then go back again. So
why did you go back then? That's interesting.
It's kind of just like
you
don't know what else to do, and you can still see the weight going on, and you think, oh, it worked that first 2 weeks. But, when I went then to the gym and did some exercise and then stood on the scales, my weight went up, and then the leader's saying to you, you've put weight on. You haven't put weight on. Obviously, your body's going through a lot of different stresses and lifted weights and stuff, so all your water and your hormones are changing. But so there was just so much misinformation out there and like confusion when you'd go to all these groups. It just took me a long time of just trying and, failing. But in my eyes, that's not failing. It's just overcoming a new barrier to find the thing that you enjoy. And for me, it kind of clicked after my second child, and finding a community, like a gym where they promoted like a balanced lifestyle, you know, still being able to have those nice treats that you want every now and again, and exercise I enjoyed. That was the key. So yeah, it took a long time is what I'm trying to say. It took like a good year or two.
How did you get to the point where like you knew you enjoyed it? Did you just start and then you enjoyed it right away? Did you grow to enjoy it? Because so many people I think like no, I just don't like exercise. That's why I don't do it. I don't like it. Do you know what I mean? Like it's not for me.
Do you can't really. I think what it is, you can't see the results straight away. So, you know, when you start exercising and you start changing your diet and building all those new habits, you can't see it straight away. You can't look in the mirror and go, right, you know, oh, my clothes feel loose. It takes months to see those initial changes.
But people want it straight away.
Straight away. We have that kind of society, don't we? Where it's like we want that instant kind of right. But I think that for me is when after, you know, 3-4 months and your clothes feel a bit looser and, you know, you can lift the shopping bags out of the cart all in one trip. That kind of stuff is when I got hooked, when I could see the physical changes and kind of stuff like that, really.
So is it that you enjoyed the actual exercise, or is it that the results that you got from the exercise and all the other stuff that you did led to results that meant you started to enjoy the process? Or
yeah, that's it. I think it hurts, right? So, you know, any exercise is initially, you know, you're kind of stretching and you're moving ways you've never done before. So you're going to get sore initially and long term. But it's all progress, it's all good stuff. But I didn't enjoy it in the moment, no, until I started seeing those results. But now I love it. Now I'm like craving for that extra bit of DOMs. So yeah, that's kind of it, really.
Yeah, because we've just been talking about this. Like, I think people think obviously that, you know, we just can't wait to train and we love every session, and it's not always the case, is it? And I know, like with you, you know, like you're always glad that you've done it after.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you don't love every session, you don't love every exercise. You say to me sometimes when I program you, I'm like, oh, you put that in again, like I don't like that exercise or whatever. You know, there's bits that we like, there's bits that we don't like. But what I like to try and get across to people is if I can't make you enjoy exercise, I can hopefully teach you the benefits of what you get from it, and you can love that.
Yeah, absolutely.
That, rather than, I don't know, a certain exercise that we might do, like it's inconsequential really in the, like you said, in the long term, in the grand scheme of things, isn't it?
It's kind of like somebody actually said to me the other week, which stuck in my mind. It's like brushing your teeth, right? So you've got to brush your teeth to look after your general health, your teeth health. So you don't always enjoy standing there brushing your teeth, but you do it because you get the results from it, and that's what you should do for your long-term health, for your teeth. So that's kind of what I think of it as, really.
I get it. With brushing your teeth, it's like the cost of not doing it's the motivation, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like the fear of having bad breath. Like that would be it for me. I don't brush my teeth because I more brush my teeth because like I don't want to have smelly breath and whatever. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. But like relating to exercise, that's
osteoporosis or like, you know, losing your muscle mass or your bones, and so it does correlate in that sense. But yes, it's just an analogy that's stuck in my head, and I thought, like you do it, and it's very delayed gratification, isn't it? You look back on that time, like 2-3 years ago when I first started, and it just blows my mind. Like that is the same for you. You look at how far you've come, and you just think, oh gosh, I'm glad I started when I did, because if I didn't, where would you be now? In terms of your mental health as well. So
Kirsty, tell us about like when you first joined the gym. You mentioned you didn't know what to do, like, you know what I mean? You were like, whoa, what's going on? So tell us a bit like how that felt for you when you went into the gym and you didn't know what to do and what have you.
I wouldn't say I felt stupid, but I just went with it. Like I said, I didn't know what a rep was. I didn't know what a set was. So I just went in and just did my own thing. I mean, obviously now we do 12 reps. I might have only done 4, and I might have only done 1 set of it because I didn't have a clue. And I just moved on, and then I always went on the treadmill because I always felt better running. And I thought that was going to get me to where I am now, but obviously it doesn't. You've got to involve a bit of the weights as well. So, yeah.
So what emotions did you feel when you went to the gym and you didn't really know what to do?
I felt a bit demotivated because I wasn't seeing any results. Do you know what I mean? None at all. And I don't know, back then, obviously when I was younger, it was, I don't know, it wasn't about being muscular or anything like that. It was about being slim and skinny. And I knew I was never going to be that. Never. So that's what put me off as well, going to the gym, because I weren't ever going to be like everybody else.
But what do you mean by that? What do you mean everyone else? Like,
I don't know, sometimes when you go to, when I was younger and I went to the gym, it was loads of skinny girls, and you just felt like...
Do you think that's what stops a lot of people going to the gym?
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Definitely.
So that has an impact on you. What about you, Lucy?
Yeah, I think there's this common, I wouldn't say misconception, general idea of what people should be in a gym, like what a gym body is. But you go into a mainstream gym, for example, now, and that's not the case. There's people of all shapes, sizes, different cultures, different backgrounds. It's a really big mix of people. But that initial kind of misconception in your head of like, it can put you off and it can stop you going in because you think, I don't fit that image of a gym person. But just fake it till you make it almost. You've almost got to push yourself through the door and get it done, start, and then you just can't help but keep coming back. But it's overcoming the mentality of what you think you should be or look like to go into a gym, isn't it? It's, yeah.
And that's just a story that you build up in your own mind.
Yeah,
though,
it's just you stopping you.
It's not
Yeah,
real, and everyone else is there thinking the same thing, or even just doing their own thing. And like you say, there's people of all shapes, sizes, like whatever in the gym. It really doesn't matter, but we build it up so much,
and nobody cares.
No,
nobody is watching you, and if they are watching you, they need to crack on and do their own stuff, because clearly not working hard enough if you're staring at everybody else in the gym. So everybody's just doing their own thing anyway. So
yeah, I think they are. I think people really don't care, and most people have that mindset, so then they're just in their own world. Like when I'm in the gym, I don't want people to bother me, to be honest. Like I just want to crack on and do my own thing, and I don't really speak to anyone or whatever. I'm not saying like I'm in the zone or whatever, but like I'm just, it's sort of my time. Do you know what I mean? It's like my time away from everything. So the last thing I'm trying to do is sort of like interact with people. I'll purposely try and not interact with people. Although I've not been in a commercial gym now for over 2 years, which I was thinking about the other day. Like since I left Pure Gym, I haven't been in a commercial gym. I've been here. I've been to Ultraflex, which I don't class as a sort of typical commercial gym. And so I suppose in a way I don't necessarily miss that, and you might call me or us biased, but this brings us on to, a private gym environment, which is where you started your journey.
Yeah, it was,
How was that different, and how do you think an environment like this might help someone who's, scared of starting?
I think it'll give them the right skills and tools to have the confidence to go into a more, if they wanted to later down the line, like a bigger environment. Just to learn and understand like the basics and work towards those goals you want to get to. But for me, when I first started, like you said, I went to a private gym. And if I hadn't have, I'd never, ever, ever gone to a larger gym on my own, ever. No way would I have walked through that door. And I do it like, 4 or 5 times a week now, with confidence, and people ask me for help. So it just shows if you just keep doing the same things over and over again, we'll get there. But that's why environments like this are fantastic, because they just get people through the door and working towards those goals, whatever they are. Yeah,
you're walking into an environment where the only people that are there are the people that are supposed to be there if you're in a group. And if you're in a one-to-one session, it's just you and the PT, and that's it. And for someone who is obviously worried about perhaps what they look like, how unfit they are, all these things come into people's minds. And I say ladies, it's men as well. They just don't admit it. But, they definitely think the same. They just give off the bravado. But obviously, more specifically, we generally help ladies, so relating it to that. So if you knowing what you know now, like what do you wish you would have known when you started on your day one? Is there something that you maybe might tell yourself on day one if you could go back now?
To actually use the equipment properly and knowing, how many sets or reps to do. Definitely.
So seek out that information. So that's asking for help, isn't it? So yeah, I guess, because that's the thing that's daunting, isn't it? Sometimes I would imagine is
asking for
help, or even in some cases on the gym floor, actually finding someone that is there to help. Because mostly now there's not that many people on the gym floor that aren't PTs with clients or whatever. So it's seeking that out. But I mean, there's so many, like for anything, not just the gym, there's so many resources now with YouTube generally, like and the internet and what have you, even with AI like ChatGPT and stuff like that. You can find out all the information that you need. So, for that sort of stuff, you can do that. And, like clients now follow videos and stuff like that we set them from programs, do you know what I mean, to figure out what they're doing and stuff. So I think there's definitely a lot more in the sort of modern world now than what there might have been perhaps when even I or you started going to the gym.
Me.
Oh, me too. Me too. Like there wasn't,
I'm the oldest one, so
yeah, but I started probably going to the gym in like what would it have been? Like 2007, probably properly. Back then there was YouTube, but it wasn't like, it was like, cats playing the piano and stuff. It wasn't like useful educational stuff, was it? Whereas now it's full of free stuff. So I think to answer my own question, I would just say go and look at all the resources that are there to hopefully give yourself a bit more confidence. And people that are in the gym are looking at the phone. They're following stuff all the time. That's typically what people are doing, isn't it? What about you, Lucy?
So 2 things come to my mind would be, I wish I'd have started sooner. And don't be scared to pick up the weights. You're not going to be massive. Because I always used to think that, I'd get really bulky. I mean, I probably am getting a bit bulky now, but that's fine. But there's, you're not going to touch a dumbbell and just be a bodybuilder. It takes people a long time to build muscle. There's a whole thing in place. It's hard. So yeah, that would have been my kind of thoughts to myself. But I wish I'd have started sooner. And don't be afraid to pick up the weights because it'll change your life.
I think that's a big one. And you led onto that when you said about getting on the treadmill and then needing to add weights into your routine. So how much did it change your perception of it when you started having weight training as part of your training program, if you will? When did your perception change of that? Or did it take some time? Or
yeah, because I didn't know at first that you needed, because I run, I didn't know that I needed to combine both. Most probably only in the last 2 years coming to yourself that I've learnt that.
Yeah. Well, at the end of the day, like some level of cardio is important for everyone, right? And then being able to pick stuff up and put stuff down and move around effectively is important. And then away from weight loss, muscle gain, all of that stuff, like you said, like osteoporosis, like bone density and mobility and all of that stuff is a big reason to weight train that often gets kind of like ignored because people are only thinking about either weight loss or shaping up or muscle gain or whatever. But there's so many other benefits to doing that. What are some mistakes that maybe you made or that people typically make at the start, and what advice could you give them on those?
Mistakes. Thinking you gotta eat nothing but lettuce. And it's true, isn't it? It is. Like, I want to lose weight. I'm not going to eat any food. No. Because you'll get to 8, 9 o'clock at night and then you'll eat 5,000 calories. Yeah. So that would be my biggest thing. And that's something I see a lot from friends, from discussions with like potential clients is, it's the food side of things as opposed to the exercise. I feel like the exercise is like, most people are all right. They'll come in and get over their nerves and anxiety and they'll do it. But it's the food side of things that a lot of misconceptions arise from. So, yeah. And that's probably what I thought as well when I first started. I was like, oh, I'm going to have to eat nothing but like cucumber and lettuce. And I didn't know anything about protein or, how to balance my portions and carbs and the healthy fats and stuff like that. So, yeah, that was quite an important one. Yeah.
Oh, well, like if you've had a bad meal,
Yeah.
a cheat meal, then people would starve themselves.
Yeah, like restrict their intake because they think that the food they've eaten is like too high in calories.
Yeah.
But food is just calories. So it's kind of like, in my eyes, food is neither bad nor good. It's calories. There's this analogy, obviously, eating, for example, McDonald's every day for months on end is going to not be great for your health. But ultimately, if you ate in a calorie deficit of like 1,600 calories of McDonald's every single day, ultimately you'd still lose weight. But obviously that's not promoted. It's not a good thing to do that. But it just shows that that one meal out of how many meals in a week? So yeah, food just seems to be the biggest thing that a lot of people struggle with, including myself when I first started.
Yeah, it's obviously not optimal to choose
No.
processed stuff and whatever. But the point stands, like, people need to get a handle on the calories. So what you're saying is one of the biggest mistakes is maybe bad management of, or bad expectations of what it might look like. So like you said, starving yourself all day.
Yeah.
And then inevitably find yourself binging at night. Or like you said earlier, maybe they can last it out for a few days and then the weekend it just goes like completely tits up and out the window.
Yeah.
So, it's takeaway Friday, it's takeaway Saturday, it's, Mackey's breakfast, Sunday, and then it's like, start the gym again on Monday and then cycle in and weigh yourself and then, not lost any weight. Kind of like, what's the point? I think that's definitely a common cycle. So it's, it's educating and teaching people on how to structure that day so that they are fuller for longer. And that's where types of foods and meal frequency and all that sort of stuff does come into play in that sense. What about yourself, Kirsty? What sort of mistakes did either you make, or what sort of mistakes do you think that people make when they first start out?
Like Lucy with food, because, I was most probably guilty of it back then. It was like I used to go to Weight Watchers, Slimming World, done that.
So you've done them all as well.
I have, yeah.
I think most people have.
Yeah.
Most people have paid their £5 a week just to be, embarrassed on a scale in the front of like 30 people.
But then, like what I used to do is I'd go and get weighed on a Saturday and it was like, right, great, I've been
Cheat
weighed.
day, well, yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
I can be bad
In
for
we
the
go,
rest.
yeah.
Where do I start? Where do I stop?
Yeah.
I just ate all day. And then
Yeah.
it was like, right, I'll start again now. But like I said, it wasn't doing any good for me.
No.
And I think that's what quite a lot of people do.
Yeah. It's mindset, isn't it? It's about habits. It's about breaking away from those kind of, that mindset of like bad food, good food. And I think no food is bad food.
No.
Like, as long as you kind of in moderation over time, all food should be seen as energy. But yeah.
Yeah, I guess it attaches like emotion to it, doesn't it? So if you sin, let's say in the example of Slimming World,
Don't eat a mashed banana.
what does that? That's a conversation for another day. Isn't it? But if you sin or you do too many sins and then you feel bad and then
You'd cut back the next day.
Yeah, the emotion.
Restrict and like
exactly.
binge.
So the impact of that then is just like, I've failed, and then the cycle sort of continues. Whereas managing it in a situation where like nothing's off limits, you've not failed at any point, but like you said before, it's important just to get back into the flow of what you were doing before. I don't love the on the wagon, off the wagon sort of mentality, because it suggests that you're either completely on or completely off, which isn't the case. I just think some of these things are part of life. Like I said, like the odd takeaway or the odd birthday or meal out or whatever. It's just part of life and it happens, and then we just slip back into our normal habits.
Yeah.
Well, it's like me. Today I know I've gone over my calories, but that's fine.
You ain't beating yourself up about it and then going, right, throwing the towel in now, that's it, I'm gonna go all
I'm
weekend.
going to have to
and
starve to myself tomorrow.
Or I'm just
I'm
going to have loads. Some people go the other way, won't they? And be like, right, you know what? I've messed it up now. I'm not doing this anymore. So I can go either way, can't
Yeah.
I?
And I've got 2 meals out next week as well. Obviously, Christmas is coming. People would say, sod it. Time to give up. I'm going to just indulge and enjoy the Christmas food while it's there and the nights out and that. But
It doesn't need to be all day every day,
No.
though, does it?
No,
I
that's
saw a stat today. I've not like checked it or whatever, but it said that people gain the most weight out of any month in December, which is, it makes sense, it's fairly obvious. But apparently it takes them 8 months to lose the weight that they gain in December. Like, that's how much people just go completely off the rails. And like you said, there's some level of like moderation, isn't there?
Yeah.
Like, I'm all for enjoying myself in December, but it doesn't need to be every day, all day.
No.
You know, if you eat out 7 to 10 times in December,
Yeah.
you're still eating, you know, what's 31 times 3, 30 times to make the maths easy. Yeah.
Yeah.
But 93 meals in
Yeah.
the month. You eat out 7 to 10 times. It's actually not that much.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
Yeah.
you know, it's like you say, looking at the sort of bigger perspective, really, isn't it? So what do people do? Is there anything people do to sort of like, I suppose this lends quite well to kind of like sabotage? You said yourself, like you know, got weighed and then you were like, okay, great. Let's sort of go in. Is that something you found yourself doing as well?
Yeah, definitely, because it's a common, especially with certain like groups like Slimming World, or there's this common like, what's the word, perception that like once you've got weighed, you know, if you've lost a bit of weight, right, that's it now, you can go to the pub and get yourself a big treat, you know. But if we started to shift our minds away from stuff like that and just balance our treats, well, not treats, just food out throughout our week, you know, like I put some chocolate in my porridge every morning. Do I feel guilty for putting chocolate in my breakfast? Absolutely not, because I'm balancing all my food sources throughout the week. So yeah, just it blows my mind to think that that's the way I used to think, to be honest. But
so what's the biggest like moment, or what was the point of transition from you going to changing the way that you see food, exercise, and the way that you managed it? What was the game changer for you, do you think?
Well, for me, it was literally like small little habits that I can't even pinpoint it, because the habits were so small over time that the shift just happened. So like stuff like, you know, I don't even remember really, but like the first few months when I was trying to lose body fat, just doing stuff like drinking a bit more water, stuff like getting those extra steps in, you know, not wanting to ruin the progress, learning about that food optimizing where you're putting loads of like salad with your carbs and your protein, just like little things every week, and they would just stack on top of each other. And then before I knew it, they're so ingrained in my brain now, I don't even have to think about it. Like I know how to portion my meals out on a daily basis, how to kind of manage my events and my nights out. And I had support from, you know, personal trainers and a community, a group of people that all sharing tips and stuff. But nobody ever said to me, "Ooh, that's a bad meal," or "Ooh, you know, you shouldn't eat that because that's a bad food," or anything like that. It was learning, stepping away from that idea that it was all bad, that actually helped me. Because if somebody said to me, "You can't have that," I'd want it 10 times more. So I would actively, every Friday night, just to prove a point to myself that I could do it and still lose body fat, have a pizza every Friday. I'd make my own pizza, so I'd make my own dough and put passata on and cheese, but I would and a small bottle of Prosecco every Friday, and I lost 6 stone.
That is the secret. There you go.
There you
That's
go.
what you've got to do.
Pizza and Prosecco
Every Friday.
But so why do you think that helps you? Why did that work for you in allowing yourself to do that?
Because it told my brain that you can still eat the foods you love and lose weight without giving up the things you enjoy. Like, why would you do that? Just learning those little habits and ways to change things was an absolute game changer for me. Because if you tell me not to do something, I'm going to do it. Yeah, so that was it. Just Yeah.
Yeah, I think
that's what it comes down to.
Your point of, those habits compounding over time is really important here, because people try and change everything at once, and that rarely works. Like, for anything in life, does it? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, there are examples, but like in a fitness sense, like, normally people come in and they're pretty shit at fitness, right?
Yeah,
they're
we all are. We all start
diet.
and we're like, oh.
They're pretty shit at like their habits and all that.
Yeah.
I mean, more to that point. And so you're not going to be able to perform like, for example, like either of you two now, right? So they compare themselves to you two and what you do. It's like, okay, now I go out, now I train 4 days a week. Can I eat like Lucy, or I eat like Kirsty and do this? It's like, probably not. Let's strip it back. Let's start a little simpler. Like, what can we do that's slightly better? Like you said, drinking a little bit of water, going for a walk every day. Like, maybe 10,000 steps is too much.
Yeah.
Maybe 6,000 is good, because right now you're doing four or
yeah.
something like that. Do you know what I mean? So I think, to use the term, being a little bit kinder to yourself in what you're probably capable of right now, feel successful, build on that, and then you might well get to 10,000 steps, or 4 workouts a week, or lifting whatever weight or what have you. But I think the important point that we've talked about as well is getting around people that are on the journey at the same time, but also being like authentically where you are. And I think that's why the groups here work so well, because people remember how they felt and where they were at the beginning. And to bring this full circle into like, people starting out and feeling uncomfortable and what have you, when you come into an environment where people have been exactly where you are, they understand that they want to help. Like, people who have made some progress want to, bring people up. They want to help people out. And that's why I think, private gyms like this can outperform commercial gyms in terms of results, because they can create those sorts of environments that you didn't have when you first started the gym, and you went in and you did a few bits, and then you went on the treadmill, which is just like completely atypical of like what people do, isn't it? They just walk in, go on the treadmill. It'd be like beaming sunshine outside, like 20 degrees or whatever. It's like, what did you do at the gym? Oh, I spent on the treadmill. Well, you could have gone for a walk outside. You've been at a desk all day inside. So, but, they don't know how to do that. But then come to somewhere like this, and we can obviously help them and sort of, guide them through that process. So I suppose let's tie this off now. What if there is someone right now that is like, I've tried loads of times before, do you know what I mean? I've done Slimming World, I've done Weight Watchers, I've joined gyms, I've quit gyms, I've been to the gym, I don't know what to do, but I still want to make improvements to my health, my mental health, and I want to lose some weight. We'll start with you, Kirsty. What would you say to that person?
Small steps. It's about taking small steps. Doesn't matter how long it takes, you'll get there in the end.
I love that, because I think, I was reading something the other day, and it's like, you either achieve your goal or you quit. Which is true, isn't it? It was a bit like what I was talking to you about the other day. You either read the book or you don't. So to add some context, I lent a book to Kirsty, and she was like, yeah, I'll try and get through it.
I said I'll give it a go.
Yeah, exactly. And I was like, well, you're going to either read it or not. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're either going to achieve the goal or not, which ultimately is the truth, isn't it? It's fine to not achieve a goal. Like, that's just an example. But it's fine to do that. But I think that's it. Like, if you just accept that your goal is something that you're going to achieve at some point, and you refuse to quit and keep going, even when things don't go right, and maybe the scales go up 1 week, or you can't go to the gym 4 times because the kids are ill, or, whatever.
Don't put pressure on yourself.
Yeah, you never throw the towel in. But it's don't put pressure on yourself, but it's maybe don't beat yourself up for things not going so well, and just be willing to show up the next time, So
I think like what I was going to say leads into that quite nicely. So my answer would have been, don't expect yourself to be perfect, just be consistent. So just turn up and just show up. But nobody's perfect. Like, how many times I've gone into a gym and just had a really bad day, it's been exhausting with the kids, and I've half-arsed it, but I've turned up, and everything always counts. That's what I always say to myself in my head is, what would 6 months later Lucy think when I look back? And if I had just given up 6 months ago, I'd never get to where I am now. So I think that even when I'm having a hard day now, 6-month Lucy in the future is going to be thankful I've turned up, even if I've half-assed it today. So yeah, consistency, not perfection.
Love it. That's actually a Matthew McConaughey quote.
Is it?
Don't half-arse it.
Is it?
He talks about it in, I don't know if it's one of his books or whatever. He's got a book called Green Lights, and it was his dad telling him, like, he was going into, I think he was quitting being a lawyer because he was going to be a lawyer, and he was going into acting. And he was like, Dad, what do you think? And he was like, just don't half-arse it. That was it. Like, just give it your all.
Yeah.
You know, accept that things aren't always, like you said, aren't always going to be perfect.
No.
But don't just have one foot in the door. Like, go all in. But all in doesn't mean that you have to, like you said, give up everything. It just means that you're fully committed to the cause, like, no matter what. And you just keep going for the long term.
Because if you don't, alternatively, your heart will be stuck where you are. So if you want to make a change, it's going to be hard. Or if you don't, it's going to be hard. So choose your hard.
Yeah, and that's it. And nothing's going to change until, you know, the pain of, like, where you are now outweighs the pain of changing.
Yeah, definitely.
Because it's hard to change. It's hard to stay the same.
Yeah.
But until you acknowledge that right now, to be where you are, to be unhappy, unhealthy, not confident, whatever it is, to continue living like that is harder than what it takes to change. That's when something's going to move, something's going to change, you know?
Yeah.
Cool. All right, let's wrap it up there.
Great.
I'll speak to you soon.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.